good. It's super smooth and refreshing. This one's a little bit more about like the alcohol itself, I guess.
Yeah, I got you.
Cat, you
I
need to stop
definitely
eating
like
this cheese. You're gonna make yourself sick.
It's season 14, session 14, y'all.
Season 14.
Season 14. That's something very different. That's Star Trek.
That too.
Kelsa, can you imagine us getting to season 14?
Woof.
Oh,
That's when we go back in time and there's like AIDS crossover and just all the other fun stuff. It's like, yeah, it's the same universe, just somehow blades. Don't worry about it.
I mean,
That's what happens when you go through the Hantu Gate.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just Dustfall on the other side. It's just
Yep.
Lady Blackbird on the other side.
Yep, 100%.
That would be a game.
That's the closing episode of this season. Let's see what's beyond that gate, and then it just cuts in.
Ugh.
I mean, to be fair, that is what we're sort of doing in our own
Kind of?
Sad.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Need to know that. I mean, they know.
But they don't need to know.
They don't need to know. Nobody watches our riffing intros. It's fine.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm pretty convinced that Nerdfuffle watches our riffing intros, so
That's probably true. Nerdfuffle is our biggest fan.
I like Nerd Level, so it's good.
I'm glad.
She's okay sometimes, I guess.
Wow.
Oof.
If my wife was here, she would kick my ass. That's like her life.
That is.
They're both gonna get you.
I know.
She's gonna watch the recorded version.
Speaking of Nerdfuffle, y'all should follow her on the Twitters because she's starting to put on a bunch of art projects she's been working on.
What is this gremlin emote that just got unlocked with your sub?
Oh no! It's great.
This is the December Twitch emotes thing.
Oh god, it's horrifying.
That is pretty horrifying. I agree.
I have 5 of them now. I don't know how many of them there are, but I have 5 of them. I'll put them in chat for people to see what they are.
Yeah, I'll drop mine too. I think
I like the last year's Santa into the bush. That one's hilarious.
It was all memes last year.
Yeah.
I still think these are not like there was the K-pop stuff last month or the month before. My favorite has been still this year's Pride emotes. Were just
the Pride.
Yeah, the
they
bees.
were so good.
They were
Not the
just
bees, like everything.
perfect.
They were.
Yes,
the Pride Wave dolphin. That's a good one too. I use that like daily.
I use Pride Laugh daily because it's the best laugh emote.
I use
also Pride Rise.
Pride. Where are my emotes?
Everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Oh, I'm not on the right browser. No wonder.
Oh, well, that would do it.
I also have this gem unlocked. I just
2020.
Fucking gift wrap.
I like this.
2020 right there.
I have that. I remember that. I remember March.
Yeah.
Because it's still March.
I survived March.
I actually quite like this 2020 homework emote. It's cute. It's very cute.
So what's everybody been up to? We haven't talked in like 2 weeks.
It's been a while.
2 weeks? 3 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It was just Thanksgiving.
Yep, it was just Thanksgiving. It was just Thanksgiving.
It was just Thanksgiving.
Well, I did some work on my various projects. I have a teaser of one of them on Twitter, which I put so little. You can just look at it, and maybe you'll be interested. Maybe you'll just be confused. I don't know. Yeah. So I did that, and then I had some work that I did on There's Been a Murder, which has an update today, which I will be posting in places. And Yeah. Otherwise, I've been streaming. I've changed games a lot. I started playing Control, which is amazing. It's beautiful. I love it. I'll probably be playing Dishonored soon as well. Oh,
Hit that high
thank
train,
you.
y'all.
Thank you, Anonymous. You're wonderful.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Anonymous.
Pretty fabulous, and we love you.
You don't know
Yeah.
who you are.
Hooray!
Yeah, I'm leveled up that hype train too.
Heck
Wow.
yeah!
Look at that. So hype here. But yeah, and then like outside of that, I'm doing like job applications and stuff because that's what I do in my not on camera and tabletop role playing game times.
Hmm.
Also, I
As
cannot
you
read
do.
my chat anymore because it's just loaded down with they sent you a thing. Thank them. Thank them. Thank them.
You should be thanking
All
them.
the
I'm
emotes.
just gonna blanket thank everyone because I can't keep up with all of it.
Thank them.
Thank you. Thank the maker.
So really,
Hey,
that's what
praise
y'all
the
been
people.
up to because I wanted to talk what I've been up to. Because
Tell us what you.
What
Oh.
have you been up to?
Okay. I've been binging the fuck out of the Great British Baking Show, and now as a result, I currently have pears poaching in amaretto and cardamom on my stove that will poach overnight to be put inside of a tart.
Did see that.
That
powerful food
sounds
item. That was
amazing.
It sounds wonderful. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I've gained a baking hobby, even though when I was a baker for my profession, I fucking hated it.
But now you get to do it for yourself, which is
Which is
very
very different.
Very
You
different.
do it for
That's
fun.
true.
It's so much nicer than doing it for something else.
Mm-hmm.
You're mentioning binging stuff. I finished. I caught up on The Expanse,
Mm.
and I also finished Star Wars Rebels since we last
I
met.
did catch up on Mandalorian.
I
I
caught up
keep
on Mandalorian too.
I keep meaning to catch up on The Expanse, but I stopped watching it after the first season because I wanted to read the books, and then I read the first book and I was like, "Oh, this is only half the book."
Yeah.
But
they're
then
like-
I never actually got around to watching season 2 and
Oh.
everything after that.
I haven't
Well,
read the
maybe
book.
I did. Anyway,
I haven't read the books, but there are 9 books, so there is
Yeah.
that. But I finished season 4, and I there were some things that I liked, and there were some things I didn't like, but I still really liked the show in general because, like, if nothing else, it has super solid like visuals and like really like the way it presents itself and like the
Mhm.
action that happens on screen is very different from a lot of other shows that I watch. So I like it.
That's because
I've been
realistic.
I've been slowly carving my way through the entirety of regular show because I had a urge to just watch that again, and then I binged this morning Close Enough because I found a place where I could watch it without HBO Max and never pirate, but I also don't want to pay for another subscription. So
Fair.
That's me. Close
You
Enough.
might
Close
wanna-
Enough is
the
fantastic.
HBO Max thing, honestly, because
Never Pirate is a bit too definitive for me.
Listen,
They're gonna put all
I say
of,
it for legal
Warner Brothers
reasons,
stuff.
Outro. I do not practice what I preach.
they're gonna put out all the Warner Brothers movies though on HBO Max now. So like Wonder Woman
are.
1984 is coming, Dune's coming,
Mm.
Mortal
Dude,
Kombat.
which is October of next year, as I found
So-
out.
So
Oh, that's still
all I
so
know is if they put Dune out in the theaters, I will get COVID to see Dune in the theater because I want to see Dune in the theater so bad. I love
Yeah.
Dune so much.
I'll just go in a giant hamster ball.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Just like coat yourself in like hand sanitizer, just roll in. It's fine.
Astaney, hello.
Astaney
Hi,
is
Raiders.
hot with 17 people. Hello, Astaney and
Hello.
crew.
Hello.
How is the
Hi.
farm doing? I hope the farm is well.
I
I was
know.
watching the scene.
I know they have that she has a child now in the
Aw.
game, and per my suggestion, she named the child Liara. So
Nice.
Oh.
Should have had a baby Yoda. Missed opportunity.
Baby Yoda.
I mean,
Oh,
Liara is baby.
Gremlin
Yeah.
from Anonymous Character this time.
Oh, anonymous Terror again. Thank you. You are fabulous and we love you.
anonymous.
Anonymous.
So
Anime.
So speaking of the Mandalorian, though, the one thing I have to say about the Mandalorian is the Will Smith meme wraps up like the entire last episode, where like it's Will Smith like, oh my god, it shows like Ahsoka, and then like the reveal at the end where he collapses. I was like, oh, I want this so bad.
I
don't want to say what it is and spoil it, but
I actually, yeah, since we're not going to talk about spoilers, all I'll say about the latest episode, it was really good, but there were some things where I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what, okay, like, something I will say that is, like, a little, like, it was a choice, that was the most, like, East Asian coded episode out of every episode of The Mandalorian, like,
It was still
by
super
far.
Western though. Like
it, yeah, it had that, but then
very interesting.
it was a weird mix because it was like, I won't go into spoilers about it. I'll just say it was very, very East Asian coded, and that just felt very strange compared to the rest of the show, which isn't.
So Dave Filoni is the one that actually directed the episode.
Yes.
Dave Filoni is like George Lucas's son, like not really, but you know, they say like George
Spiritual
Lucas, like, yes, our spiritual successor. So, because George Lucas based the original trilogy on Kurosawa,
Yeah.
he takes a very strong samurai film influence in his direction.
Oh, yeah.
And he actually based many of the shots. There's like a side-by-side comparison between a samurai film and some of the shots in the thing. Like when Ahsoka is like walking alone down the streets and like everything is empty, that's actually out of a samurai film. And then again, when all the people are lined up and she's looking at them like by herself, like there's like literally a side-by-side comparison of the films, and it's just like it's fantastic.
It's very heavily off of like the Seven Samurai and Yojimbo and stuff like that. Like as having watched those movies, I was like, I know where you're coming from with this, but
you
it
can
also
see
was
where
like,
that influence is, and it's great.
You know,
Yeah.
Seven Samurai is fantastic. I've never actually seen Yojimbo, but I hear it's amazing.
You know what else has Space Samurai?
this
This
game we're supposed to be
game,
playing.
yes.
This game we're
This
supposed to be
game
playing.
we're supposed to be playing. This game that we're supposed to be playing.
So,
Yeah.
funny story, Samurai 7 based on Seven Samurai in anime form, also Space Samurai. Just saying.
Also,
Space Samurai.
also, if you want to see Seven Samurai for kids, you just watch A Bug's Life.
No,
I mean,
no,
you're not
no
wrong.
jokes. Bug's
You're
Life
not
is
wrong
Seven
at all.
Samurai.
That's so funny.
It's
but
not
never
Seven
registered.
Samurai. It's Marvin 7. Just
It is in fact Marvin 7. I adjusted my non-existent tie.
maybe Marvin
Yeah.
7 is secretly one of the Seven Samurai, and we just don't know.
Yeah.
You should
The seven?
before we fully get in, y'all should watch Yojimbo. It's a really good movie.
I do need to check it out. I gotta find out where I can actually watch it, because I love samurai stuff.
I remember watching it around New Year's of 2019 or I think, if I remember correctly.
I think we have a hard copy. Like either I have it here or my dad has a copy. So like my dad's big on samurai stuff too, and our grandfather got us into it. So we at least have a copy of Yojimbo somewhere.
So when you guys come up and we have an awesome sleepover, we'll all watch it together.
Yeah, watch
in 2028 when COVID
In
stops.
2020.
2028. Yeah,
that's
it's
We'll just
very,
all
very
roll around and
optimistic.
The grim outlook.
We all know
but
2020 is not ending. It's going to go into the 13th month.
I mean, to be fair, it is March 300th right now, so like, you know.
It's like
Well-
it's like
Yeah.
December
Well, we did
31st.
enter a new age earlier this year, I believe.
A new age? A new age
Yeah,
of what?
a new age. Yeah, Jay, you were part of this meme, Saintguard.
I was?
Yeah, it's the year 0 DS.
Oh! Yes. And then we get to 3, and then when we get to 3, Nintendo sues us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was a post that somebody made about a drunken sailor, and they explained what you do with a drunken sailor. So the age-old question has been answered. So the new age begins.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm gonna
that joke was funny at one point. No, it's not.
I'm gonna go find it. Hold on.
The joke or
I found it. I found it.
The real question is, what would Marvin 7 do with a drunken sailor?
Send
Early in the
airlock.
morning. There we go. I'll put it in chat too. There you go, chat. You can see what we're talking about.
Hooray. Hooray for
What the
Jack.
original post was. We're not pirates, but we could be.
We could be.
I mean, we've changed up crew enough to like be a different thing than bounty hunters at this point.
I feel like we're not pirates exactly.
We're not pirates.
We don't exactly take the most legit jobs 90% of the
Here's
time.
the thing, Maneki has just like basically hired a mercenary crew. So like, Maneki could just like if we stole another ship, she could just start her own pirate crew, and then the crew of the Rocksteady would be like, "But where'd Maneki go?"
I come back with the fleet.
Yeah, you got a nice hat with skull and crossbones on it.
Mhm.
I don't think Maneki would leave Crow for that long. I feel like they're too connected at this point.
So Maneki would come back, she's saying that specifically. She would just come back as an admiral with her own fleet.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Admiral
it's.
Maneki.
I mean, it wouldn't even take that long.
This would mean, though, she has to get the fancy tassel-y pauldron things.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I'm setting new goals.
Acquire
Get
captain's
tassel.
jacket. Acquire captain's jacket. Put tassels on captain's jacket.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole plan.
That's her project.
Night.
8 seconds.
You can do that with one acquire asset roll on Nightfall.
Oh boy. Alright, gang. I think we are really ready to get started now.
20 minutes later.
It's only been
We're on
16.
Nightfall, right? We're actually on Nightfall. If I remember correctly.
Oh, hold on. I
Yes,
need to
we
show
are,
you
yes.
guys a picture.
Yes.
Oh, outro.
The outro, please. We're playing a game now.
No, it's fine. We can play the game, but I need to show a picture that's related to the game.
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it.
I believe summarizing last time, Maneki did not legitimately hire, but everybody else got lost on vices and stuff, and so Maneki has a completely new crew aside from Dr. Sang to help her in her quest to find her friend and kill her rival.
That is
Yep.
pretty much it.
There we go.
Thank you for that A+ summary.
Thank you. No problem.
Get it.
When we last saw the crew, they had tracked down one particular noble, a friend of Marvin Seven's, Takumi. Remind us about Takumi, who is your uptick here, Marvin Seven.
I don't think we ever got to it last week.
Well, then
I think it was
if I
what we
refresh my
ended-
memory,
yeah, I think it was
please
what we ended on, so let's make it up right now.
start telling me.
Let's talk to me.
So
The scene is going to open up on Takumi telling you what you want to know.
I think what we had said, because forgive me, anybody who's watching this back to back on YouTube VODs, I think we had talked about somebody owning a club, and somebody else couldn't make a decision on who owned the club, and so I was like, oh, my uptick owns the club. So we were going to meet Takumi at a club, and because they are, not space Asian, Takumi has... Oh man, I'm just gonna rip off the Mandalorian now. Thanks, having a week off. It's very much a koi pond themed Asian club, and it's got that. The fish people from
Amish?
Starbound.
Mem?
No. The Hyoty.
Starbound.
The
Oh.
Hyoty or whatever.
Oh yeah. It's
So
basically
like how they have that very Asian themed in space. It's very much that, where it has the pagodas and the screen doors that all look very reminiscent of ancient Earth, but it's legally distinct in their own thing. And Takumi, while human, has taken a liking to the similarities because, for whatever reason, cultural diversity only extends beyond our own human imagination. She's like, oh, this race of lost aliens have the same style as my ancient people, so I'm going to, do an homage of both of them. So that's the club they're in. And so she is dressed in a very fashionable space moth silk kimono, and her club is playing space synthwave, and it's very stroby and vibrant, and there's dance floors and 3-tiered bars where people can go higher to get more expensive alcohol, and we're at the top floor, and it's a very exclusive and private area where we can sit and meet with Takumi, and she's not old, but she's older, like late 30s, 40s, hair tied back. It has a series of chopsticks holding her hair together. It's dark, but there is just a single white streak that has gone through it to show that cryo aging or something from her leaving her ancestral home to Nightfall left some lasting impact on there to give her some personality. But she's a very business-oriented woman.
Nice.
Yes. Sorry, tons to work with there, I know.
I'm taking notes. So, you meet with her up on this top floor of this very high-class nightclub on Nightfall. Who all is there besides Marvin 7?
Knots is not. Knots is playing craps in the alley next to the nightclub because Knots does not belong in this place.
Fair.
Rylith would definitely go if they were invited. I don't know.
Everybody's welcome to come.
I'd probably be there because this is very reminiscent of Noyama family culture too.
But beforehand, when everybody's about to go up, I'm like, "Hey, Maneki, here. I don't know if we've exchanged comms info. I'll be down here. That's not my scene up there. I don't feel comfortable going in."
Very well. Send me a message if you need anything.
Will do.
If I remember correctly, Dr. Sang was busy talking to Jakov at this point, so a little bit.
Okay, if that was happening concurrently, that's...
No, I think if that they could be there because I believe that was with Knots.
I think this is happening later, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if the Jakov thing was happening, I would have still been with Dr. Sang, but if it's a different time, then I'm playing craps in the alleyway.
Yeah, and Dr. Sang can be there. Dr. Sang did their thing, so if Marvin would like Dr. Sang to be there, Dr. Sang can be there.
Everybody's welcome.
Then yeah.
This is a private club and you're not welcome. It's very much we're working together and you guys need what she can provide. So
yeah, Dr. Sang will sit in then. They don't have a big obviously this is Marvin's connection, so Dr. Sang will just be I'll be here as a doctor.
I'm here should anybody get shot or stabbed.
Yeah, exactly.
So my question here is to Shae, out of character. This is Maneki's, story. This is your, loyalty quest. I want to know, what are you hoping we find out here about Tasuki, where she is, and about Blish, where he is? What do you want to see her captured by him? Do you want to see her free and hiding? How do you want to see this happen? Because then we can roll some dice, and depending on how well you roll, will determine how close to what you want actually happens.
Okay. So I imagine that that all that time ago, when the home they were at was attacked and ransacked, Mineki doesn't really know for sure because that's the last time she saw Tatsuki.
Mm-hmm.
But she was caught in burning wreckage, and she knows it was Blish because she saw their family forces there or whatever, their group's forces there.
Mm-hmm.
I think she believes that they were kind of like a high competitive family, and it was that rivalry thing where they do something underhanded and sneaky and like hire mercenaries to try and get more control.
Mm-hmm.
If Tatsuki's father, who ended up dead, would mean that she's the sole heir, probably. And kind of what I imagine is like, since she's missing,
Mm-hmm.
she's the only one who can really access the family fortune. At least for a time. And because she isn't strictly declared dead yet.
Right.
So ever since Mineki found that out, she's hoping to find Tatsuki alive. And if she is captured, she's going to free him. If not, she's going to try and find her before Blish does.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So, because I actually didn't consider that before, so I'm actually kind of on the fence about that.
I mean, another question to ask you is, if you find out that she's not alive any longer, is it better or worse to find out that it happened at the time of the same time everything burned down versus sometime in the meantime versus, I don't know, yesterday?
If it happened earlier, or if it happened like closer to this time, Mineki would feel a lot worse because that was time that she could have spent trying to find her,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe have gotten there in time.
Gotcha. Okay. Then unless something happens to, well, we'll see. Let's see what we find out.
Time for some random dice. I can also flip a coin if you need me to.
No. We'll get to there.
Okay.
So tell me, Rindis, tell me a little bit more about Takumi.
Okay.
Like her personality. Like how does she greet you and your crew here? And one thing you didn't mention is she's your uptick. Why is she and Marvin 7 so close?
Marvin 7 would have worked for her before getting whatever the equivalent of Urbots, like being released from service, because he acts as a free agent now. So whatever got him his ability to operate independently, he would have worked for Takumi's family first. And so just working off his indentured side.
Well, technically, the way that Urbots work in this world is they all officially belong to the Guild of Engineers, and you rent them out for a certain amount of time and have to bring them back periodically for maintenance, which mostly involves wiping their cores so that they don't develop sapience.
So he would have been rented by the family, and he would have stopped being registered after a while. They would have found some way for him to have slipped out.
Cool.
And that's why he acts independently.
Gotcha. Did she personally help you, or was it someone else in the family?
We will say yes, because she is the uptick, so...
Cool.
Yeah, she's the one who helped get him out. And so he very much will come to her whenever there's things that need to be done, and is more than happy to help her when there are tasks that need to be done.
Oh yeah, for sure. Awesome. Fantastic. So yeah, personality-wise though, like how does she greet Marvin? Like
She would still be very business professional because it's her club. So even though they're on a first name familial basis, he is still an Urbot and she still has a business to run. So she would still be very formal and professional.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So yeah, so she greets you at the door and like gestures for your entire entourage to enter, and says, "Well, I see you've collected quite an eclectic clue there, Marvin 7. You can introduce me to your friends, or business associates, I'm sure."
Business associates, I find, is a better term to use for them. This is a temporary arrangement. I have been signed on to help the captain, and he'll gesture to Maneki, in finding someone very important to them.
And I trot up. I am Captain Maneki. A pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, I think she like squats down to get closer to your level, in like the most ladylike squat that you've ever seen in high heels and a dress.
Mm-hmm.
But to get down there on your level, and she's like, "Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Captain." And she like puts out a hand for you, like it's completely normal to be talking to a cat.
Uh-huh.
And yeah.
I reach up and put a paw on her hand, and then I headbutt her.
Yeah, so she nods and like gestures to some tables and is like, "We should not be interrupted up here.
Very well.
What's brought you to my club here, Marvin 7?
As stated, the captain here is looking for someone important to them that has gone missing.
Right.
One Tatsuki Noyama.
Oh. Noyama, that's a noble name I haven't heard for a while. But I may know some things. Well, know some people who know some things. Give me a moment." And she's gonna pull out like a data tab, slab, and start like making some phone calls, sending some text messages, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sliding through a Rolodex, whatever. This sounds to me a lot like you guys are consorting here. And if you would like to tell me who is going to be making this role,
I can consort. I'm here to be
Yeah.
I can assist.
All right, let's do it. It's controlled standard. The risk here is that you're still technically in a public place, so.
Alrighty, so with Maneki helping, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, great. Good start. That's
Oh my gosh, I just saw the knots art.
yeah,
It's
isn't
so
that great?
It's so great. Oh my gosh. Sorry. That's just hilarious to me. Great. No, so you get some pretty decent information. And what you find out, what she, like this takes a while. This is not like an instantaneous thing. She is like, go ahead and order anything off the menu you like. We've got a full kitchen as well as a full bar, so
Very well.
and so she's gonna like walk out of the room with her data slab and like head to her office, and it basically has told you guys that this upper floor that you guys were on is currently going to be off limits to anyone but you guys until she can get back to you with this answer, and that you have full run of the bar. But you know Marvin 7, that if you abuse that privilege, that she's going to send you a bill later.
Yep. Please feel free to make yourselves comfortable, friends, but do not abuse the privilege that has been given to you. The rat is not here, are they?
They are not.
Good. Enjoy yourselves.
I think if we're going to be waiting here a while, I think I would like to try something.
Sure.
I would like to use visions.
Ooh. Okay.
And I would like to see if I can connect to Tatsuki.
Okay, Vision says spend 1 stress to remotely view a distant place or person tied to you in some intimate way. Spend 1 stress each for extra features. Lasts for a minute rather than a moment. Your target can see and hear you. You may see something only familiar to you rather than intimate. But I would definitely say that Tatsuki is intimately known to you, unless something major has changed in the last, what do you say, it was a year, 2 years?
It was like,
less than 3.
Yeah, it was like less than 3, more than 1.
Yeah.
Question on that. Or on this ability. Am I able to spend like 2 stress to make it last for a minute, and then like if it does connect, spend another stress to become visible?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's no reason for you to have to pay extra for a feature you're not going to use, because you would cut the connection before you would manifest fully if that was going to be the case. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would do that. I create into a kitty ball and I start to just like float in a little bubble.
Cool. Spend your stress, and please, you're gonna need to make some kind of a roll here, because you have no idea where she might be, how far away that might be, and that does matter, as well as the fact that you are here and you're not technically wanted, but there's other factors. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's still controlled, but like I said, there's still some risks possible, especially anytime you're invoking weird way powers. So.
And then, do we have any gambits?
No, because we haven't actually started the job yet.
Okay.
Apparently, we have 3 gambits down here.
Do we?
That's where they are. I don't know if they're.
Are they supposed?
They only reset at the start of a job, so.
Okay, I guess we did start the job then, because this says boop 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 that 3 gambits are there as well.
They only reset when you do an engagement roll, and we haven't done one, so. No. They don't go away unless you do that like engagement roll refresh.
Well,
No, I think that was the engagement roll. We got a 6 to get the information.
We didn't use any gambits during the last mission that we won.
We just not use any since then?
I don't think we did, because it just went by so fast.
Yeah, we
Okay.
So
yeah, we just crushed it.
That makes more sense. Okay. Yeah, you guys did kind of crush it.
This is what happens when we go after some tier 0 chumps.
You did. You went after some tier 0 chumps.
I was going to gambit to add another dice to that.
Yeah, you can actually if you spend that gambit or you could spend an additional gambit to not spend any stress if you wanted to. Since apparently y'all are a glut on gambits.
You know what? Sure. Let's do
You
it.
convinced me.
I'm convinced. Let's do it.
Controlled standard?
Yep. Yep.
And when I use a gambit, am I also able to push or no?
Yes, you can still push
Cool.
if you wanna go crazy.
I kind of want to go crazy on this. This is personal.
It is.
And-
It is very personal.
And Mineki definitely has the obsessed.
That
trauma,
is
so-
very true. You would put every ounce of effort into this for sure. All right. Well, let's see it. Oof.
That is wow.
4, 2, 3, 3, 2. Well, at least you've got a 4 there.
I mean, one of those
Yeah.
kind of games, guys.
Could be 4 3s.
Okay. So yeah, I think definitely what happens is as soon as you establish the connection, then Takumi is gonna walk back in and interrupt you.
Okay.
And so you get a moment, instead of getting a minute, you get a moment, and you get just a blink of seeing Tsuki, and she is alive. She seems to be sleeping. You can't really see what's around her, but she's wearing night clothes, and she's laying in a sleeping kind of position. But before her bed or room or planet that she's on or wherever it is manifests, the door opens, and Takumi will walk in, and that'll your concentration will
Okay. That's-
break, and you fall out of that. You can theoretically resist that if you would like to continue with the vision instead.
Let's see. Be a resolve for this.
Yes.
I'm obsessed. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm waiting for it to come through. There you go. One
That's a
stress.
good resist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Better-
the door opens, and she comes in, and she's like, all right, well, I found some information. And she's about to go into it, but instead the camera follows us back into Mineki's vision, and it starts to shimmer around as you see more and more of what is around your once good companion, childhood companion. And it looks like she's on some kind of a ship. It looks like she's sleeping on a bunk. There's 3 or 4 bunks in a row, and this is like a bunk room. Is very tight quarters, the kind of thing you might see on a low end, either a very low end passenger ship or a long haul miner, where the miners would sleep in these kind of bunks and then go out in evac suits and mine and then come back to the ship. or like a very low end transport that would take people between sectors.
Yeah. So is there? I guess my first question is there anyone else around?
You can sense a couple of other people in some of the other nearby bunks that are asleep.
Okay. So I'll just like float over to her and just like curl up in her space.
Mm,
And I don't think I can nudge or touch her.
no.
Okay. But I curl up in her space and I am going to be
You definitely notice like her clothing looks old and patched and dirty and not definitely not noble quality.
yeah.
Like her hair is very short, that kind of stuff,
Is there like a window outside the ship?
Not anywhere in this vicinity, no.
Okay. So then I'm just gonna like whisper to her because I don't want to wake anyone else, but I want to wake her. Atsuki.
Yeah,
So
and
I feel like when Katsuki came in, I probably like had my hand out, knowing that Mineki was like in some kind of vision. So before she like interrupted everything and whatever.
Takumi is the
Yeah.
one that came in. I know
Right.
they're very similar.
Right. No, I'm
starting
saying
names, so.
I'm
Yes.
stopping
Heard
Takumi
Mineki.
from interrupting Mineki.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Mineki has already managed to keep her concentration anyway, but definitely she doesn't like question what's going on with the captain.
Regardless if she kept her concentration, Mineki would have missed a portion of the conversation anyway. So I feel like
True.
Rylith just stepping in and saying like, "Hang off for a second," until she was fully finished.
Gotcha. Yeah. So what do you tell Tatsuki in your vision?
Atsuki, I'm coming for you. Where are you? I will find you.
Yeah, I think she blinks a couple of times, not entirely like believing, her own eyes, and eventually, she says, the ship is called Calming Oats. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't have notes. Oh, there are my notes.
Yeah.
I don't have notes. Oh, yes, I have notes.
You have notes.
I have notes.
And like she tries to pet you and like realizes that you're not like physically there.
Yeah.
And then and I think somehow you not being physically there is almost more reassuring because you said that you were coming, I guess. But like she kind of nods and she's like, "I'll be ready, Mineki."
And I try giving her a headbutt and probably just like pass through.
And then evaporate into smoke because that's the end of the vision.
Yeah, pretty much.
Perfect.
Love it.
Yeah, and so about a minute later, Mineki neatly falls out of this little hover ball onto the ground, or back onto a chair, probably more likely, knowing Mineki, and is come out of the vision, no problem. And you notice that the noble Takumi has returned.
So I'm like glance over through to Tsukumi. Do you have a location on Calming Oats?
She blinks a couple of times and she's like, I thought you didn't know where she was.
I don't know where Coffee Oats is.
Yeah, she nods a couple of times. She's like, I see. Well, that information... And then she was like gonna say, why didn't you tell me that earlier? But then she's like, no, this business, I'm not gonna berate my clients. And kind of like shakes that idea off. And she's like, look, I've got the details right here.
I trot up eagerly.
Yeah, and she'll hand you a little data slab that's got like some tracking information, like a ship manifest and like the not manifest route, you know, like the planned flight path
For this
for the calming oats. Yeah.
This is perfect.
Awesome. And you will find that they are here in Breck, and that it seems to be a like what do you call it? Mining ship. That's exactly what it was. It seems that she is working on that ship. The exact how and why she got there, it's unclear. It seems she's working under an alias, but like somehow Takumi had like backtracked the alias and determined who she was. But she doesn't divulge how that works, but she's like, she's working here under the alias of Quinn, and you know, she gives you the flight path and everything. It's like, I wish you the best of luck out there.
You have been incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Yes, it's good that you were able to find some information for us. It will help in the search.
My vision allowed me to connect with her, albeit briefly. I wasn't certain I'd be able to. But
She nods.
She's alive.
That's a
It
very
seems like-
interesting power. I might have use of it in the future.
I'll keep it in mind.
It'd be a good
may
way
need
for the
to-
captain to repay you for your kindness.
Indeed.
Okay. You were gonna say something, Rhys?
No, Rylith just basically says like it was quite the feat.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, yeah. So you've got the information that you need as to where to find her.
So this mining route, where does it go?
Around Breck, there's a number of asteroids and small planetoids that aren't really valued of anything else but some mining materials.
Mhm.
There's a number of like ice miners out there. It's not like, you know, in Iota where there's just like huge rings, but these are like just going after individual asteroids and stuff like that. It winds up going around different places.
Gotcha.
Hasn't Maneki been to Breck? Wasn't that one of the jobs that we took early on?
I mean, you're in Breck right now.
Oh, maybe like haven't we been on the ice planet? What's the ice planet thing?
Lithios.
Yes.
Yeah, that was in
Lithios.
That was in Iota, but we have been in Breck before on a Kenny.
Okay, all right.
Yes, but
I'm confusing things then.
okay, fair enough. Let's see.
No, you're right.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, what do y'all want to do with this information?
We have
Get
our
to this ship.
location.
Indeed. Let's go.
Get to the chopper.
Through the chopper.
Okay. It sounds like you have. How do you want to approach the ship? Like, that's what you need as a detail for how you're going to do this job and get her out of there. Are you going
True.
to? Are you gonna go pirates? Are you going to like try to talk your way into there? Are you gonna try to meet them at like one of their scheduled like stopovers at one of the like fueling bases where they like trade out their cargo that they've collected and allow shore leave for a couple of days or something? Like,
We could use one of the ship's aliases to masquerade as. What did mining vessel mean?
A lot of things. Well, things that any ship needs.
We'll use the call sign packet box.
I think
Nice.
being a crew that's we have a savvy reputation and also working towards trying to be inconspicuous, probably like going and getting at them when they're like, they've gone to a mining waste, like a way station, and like getting them there is probably a smarter thing to do than putting our ship on the line potentially.
yeah, you could probably do that.
Okay, let's do that.
There's definitely a way station listed on, or more than one, most likely, on this route schedule that you have. So, please tell me what is your detail? What is your plan? How do you want to approach this?
What would I have to do to get like to get mining outfits for my crew?
Acquire an asset.
Which is something we could definitely do on Nightfall. Though I think
That's
Nightfall
true.
has a special rule for it. If I remember
I think
right.
it does. I'm pretty sure it does.
Use consort instead of tier, I think, is the
I
thing.
think that's right. Well, let me find out. I got it right here.
My sword is currently quite low.
Don't worry, we have other people who know how to consort if they have money to do it with.
I'm broke. You want to give me?
I mean,
creds?
we might have cred on the ship that you could use.
Yeah, I was like, if
We
you
have
wanna-
4 cred.
We-
We have
we
4
do.
cred on the
We
ship.
are-
In fact,
I can definitely talk my way into anything if you put the money in my hands.
I have no social skills, so it's fine.
I don't mind spending a cred for some disguises.
All right, there's mustaches for everyone.
It's consort, actually. The center
it?
of culture in the system. And here it's all about who you know. Acquire assets can use consort instead of crew quality. Or will use consort instead of crew quality. Yep.
all right.
There we go.
We can spend a ship cred to have Marvin get us some mining outfits, I guess.
I will
Yeah.
That's what we're masquerading as.
Mining outfits and
Sure.
mustaches. All right.
Let's go.
I feel like Rylaf would look just excellent with the terrible fake mustache.
So this is going to just be a fortune roll then, right?
Yes.
Okay, making sure I'm doing that right.
Hunter saying already has a beard, but
We'll put a
No, you
different
need a
colored
fake mustache over your beard.
perfect.
Hey,
Excellent.
that's
Nice.
Ooh, 6!
We'll take it.
Awesome.
Tier 2 mining outfits, whatever that means.
they actually
These-
have little canaries built into the spacesuits.
I was gonna say these mining outfits are too good.
I mean, I guess it's like that we could masquerade as like Starsmith people because they are also tier 2.
Since mine is no, I'll do my acquire asset later. I was gonna say, could mine just be the captain's coat? But I'll do that later.
Also, I mean, acquire asset is a thing of you only have it temporarily, so You
Okay,
need a
that's
long-term
fair.
project to acquire it permanently.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Or just a lot of money, because there are some things you could just buy outright. Okay, cool. So we have mining outfits with like proper IDs and stuff attached to it then, because I guess that's what tier 2 would be.
Yeah. So
Fancy
does this mean you're looking to do a disguise? I mean,
Deception.
deception here? It sounds like your method of deception is having these mining outfits and pretending to be fellow miners.
How
Yep.
do you do, fellow miners?
Because if she's in hiding, that also means Blish is looking for her. So
Mm-hmm.
if Blish shows up, I can get the drop on him.
Hey, Sang.
Yes.
You think they mind if I keep the jumper?
Think we
I
mind.
think I'm gonna keep the jumper if they don't try to take it back. I'm gonna keep the jumper.
Dr. Sang just shrugs. It's like, I am not the one in charge of these outfits, so it is up to you and I guess Marvin, what you do with it.
I don't know, pull up my shirt and zip it a little bit. Like, yeah.
You look, you fit right in that mining outfit.
Well, the thing is like the I don't know. I guess the maintenance garb they give me to clean out engines and stuff. It's made with this real itchy, I don't know, like linen. This is nice. Covers the whole body. Why don't they just use mining jumpers for cleaning engines?
Just shrugs again.
Yeah.
Oh.
You could ask the same thing with surgical equipment, but it depends on the organization you work with, huh?
Fair enough. I decided I'm keeping the jumper. It doesn't matter what they say. I do like a slight hop skip forward and just go like, all right, let's do the job.
I know I asked, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
I know I asked, and I know you all said yes, but I'm gonna steal it.
I've just decided
Doctor-
anyways.
I mean, I think we figured out what the dynamic between Dr. Sang and Knots is, and it's Knots uses Dr. Sang as a sounding board.
Yeah.
It's 100% it.
Let me run this idea by you, even though I've already made my decision.
Yeah.
Well, they just need the positive affirmation, and even if it's negative, they just give themselves the positive affirmation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying yes. I really appreciate it. Wait, I didn't say
And I
that.
didn't say, I
Like,
heard you
doesn't
say yes, and that's good enough.
But no, the stream went down.
Oh,
Oh no!
Oh no.
you sure?
Yes, because it happened on my screen and Nerdfuffle yelled it, and
Oh,
I'm still
like,
able to
the
talk
whole
to you
thing is
so it's on my
frozen.
internet.
It's still up on mine, so maybe it's just your interwebs.
I'm refreshing.
Is it
see
up
if
on
it's-
mine?
Nope. I just got the disconnect.
Yeah, it's dead.
Oh
It's DED dead.
It did go down. So oh, and now OBS just did a whole backflip.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that was weird.
Would it take like
Thanks,
early
OBS.
There's,
no,
there's
looks
a
like
bunch
it
of
just
OBS
looks
issues
like
in
it
the
just
past.
clicked back over.
Yeah, it's back on for me. But there's
Okay.
been a bunch of OBS issues for a lot of people this week. I don't know what it is.
There it goes. I see it now.
Okay, everybody just refresh.
Welcome
OBS
back.
setup. Yep.
Okay.
Good times.
Well, let's do this. Let's do this engagement.
Yeah.
So is this particularly bold or daring?
I don't think so.
I think the big thing about this is that we outclass this whatever this crew is.
You do, for sure.
So,
Is this operation overly complex or contingent on a bunch of factors?
no.
Not really. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they are weakest? Not really.
Not really. They don't have any defense either.
No, they're not particularly strong against this approach, no. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? Well, they already have.
Or ASPN.
Are there any enemies or rivals interfering in this operation? Absolutely. Are there any other elements you might want to consider? Well, this tier is... yeah, I think the target is lower tier than you, but I don't think it's lower enough tier for it to be...
Yeah. Is tier significant in this situation? Because it might not.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't think it is. Okay.
There's, let's see. I also, how do flashbacks work? Because I do have a flashback from Horrocks.
So flashbacks work when you need something. When you get to an obstacle, you can say, remember when Horrocks gave me something or promised me something, whatever it was exactly that he did. Well, that something was this thing that absolutely trivializes this task that was insurmountable a moment before.
Okay, cool.
Or, just something that lets you at least try.
Yeah.
There's this wall in the way. Luckily, I talked to my friend who makes detonation charges.
Yeah.
Luckily, I talked to my friend, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. There we go, my friend.
Luckily, Knots is a burrowing species.
Unfortunately, you did not take that starting thing, so
you're right.
you don't get to use any xenoracial aspects. But what you can do is make a roll. Well, actually, probably, I think that Maneki should make this roll.
Sure. How many
One
times?
Please make a fortune roll.
What if Knots
One
Gleewood
die.
seconds it and rolls the fortune roll before her?
No.
No.
One die.
One
D6.
die. 1d6.
Let's see how desperate we are in our deception.
Number of dice.
Hey!
Oh.
I'm obsessed! It must go perfectly!
Well, everybody knows that when you get a 6 on the fortune roll for a job, that everything will 100% hit the fan.
Oh,
Oh.
before we keep going, we should actually reset our gambits and choose our load because that's a thing those are things we forgot to do.
Indeed. I seem to recall you guys got the thing that gives you more gambits. Am I remembering that correctly?
That is correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh no, we don't have the third one though.
Yeah.
We only
Right,
have two
because
Crow is not
Crow is not there. Yes.
But we got hard knocks.
there. Mhm.
So we should be resetting to 2 gambits at the start of every job.
Boop.
And I'm going to take normal load miners, and that seems like the right thing to take.
Yeah, Rylith is gonna go normal as well.
Sounds like
Okay.
Normal for me.
we should all be kitted out and ready for this.
Cool. Knots.
Light.
Sure. Awesome.
We'll toss it.
Did I mess that up? I think I did. Did I? Hold on. There we go. Okay. I was on the wrong layer. That explains everything. Brilliant. So, just to make sure I'm understanding your plan correctly, you were meeting up at a rest stop area, like one of the way stations, and going to be another, I don't want to say rival, it's not like your gangs, fellow mining crew. Thank you. And then use that to, get to Tatsuki and whisk her away, if I'm understanding properly.
Mm-hmm.
I think now would be a great time to introduce my genius pet.
Oh, well. What is your genius pet, Knots?
My genius pet has been living in my pocket,
Okay.
and it is a bat named Flaps.
Oh.
Awesome.
I see how Knots names things.
Yes.
This is Flaps. This is Gun. Like,
This is
This is a gun.
Hello, this
Excuse
is
me,
done.
is shoot?
This
this
is
is
shoot.
shoot.
This is my cat meow and my dog bark.
It's Bang Bang alive no more.
I guess it would be Bang Bang would be the name of the gun. Or Pew Pew because these are laser guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. But yes, the reason why I want to introduce Flaps now is because they're going to be our frontal scout,
Oh, okay.
doing their sonar thing and all that cool stuff.
Okay, yeah. That was not even close to a bad noise. I apologize to everyone.
I don't know if you can get it high pitched enough for a bat.
Yeah, I don't know if you can like hit sonar levels.
Yeah.
But
I can't.
That is
but I can.
definitely
Which is-
what they hear, though.
Yes.
Mhm.
Ooh, someone's calling.
Ooh, somebody.
So yeah. Let's see. So I think we're looking at the first like real challenge here is like the Calming Oats has already docked. You guys have docked, and you're like you've already like all of your like dock paperwork checks out because that's like pretty boring. But as you're like going into like the main part of the station, there is like a I guess checkpoint would be the closest term, and essentially there's a bunch of union thugs that are going to harass you for not being a part of their union.
Ah, I see.
So yeah, there's like a little miniature checkpoint, and when you guys try to walk past, you did not flash the union sign, and these two guys just come out of like the side, and then there's three people blocking this hallway, and one of them is the biggest, burliest guy, and whoever was like leading this down the hall is getting like a pair of hands to the chest.
Are they Cobalt Syndicate?
Maybe.
Do they have a blue stripe on their thing?
Maybe. I mean,
I don't know.
Yes.
Can you see their thing, Saint?
Yeah, that's
yes,
why
you
I
can,
meant.
because the blue stripe is what you don't have.
Yeah, I
Unless
figured.
you're trying to tell me that you do, and gonna give me a flashback to how you knew that this particular place was a Cobalt Syndicate ran location.
You know, I didn't, but I have a better thing.
Oh,
I don't have a
okay.
better thing. I have a different thing, I should say.
Sure.
I'm gonna, yeah, like, I think, like, I don't know who's in the front right now, but Dr. Sang's gonna make their way up. And is basically just gonna,
I feel like
go-
it has to be Barb and Seven in the front. Like I'm like
I was
I'm like
gonna say,
looking at it's like it's not Knots.
no.
It's not Maneki, or even if it is, I mean, he
It's
can't.
Too short.
Yeah, and I mean, Knots is too short too. But like, he would have been, they would have like physically been stopped by this guy. He would have like stopped them. And I don't think it would be Rylith. They're too like, sheltered to be the one in the lead. So if it wasn't Dr. Sang, it has to have been Marvin 7.
Yeah, they're gonna go to like to the 4, like in front of Marvin, and just and basically just say to these union toughs, something along the lines of, "Hey, our paperwork is going in, but you heard like," and they're gonna make up an event like, "Hey, you heard about that raid that happened on what? We're gonna give one of the moons a Nightfall. We were part of that. We were part of that. That local. And we had to remove our stripes to get out of it. Yeah.
That's a pretty compelling lie. You wanna make a roll on that?
Yeah. I'm gonna push myself because I'm a doctor, not a union member.
Okay. Yeah, you are in fact a doctor, not a
Is your
union member.
justification that you're in the doctors union?
Maybe.
No, I mean, tell me what your experience from being a doctor has given you this out. I mean,
Yeah, this was a posting. This was actually not too long ago because guess where I was doing clinic work? It was on injury. You know where the Cobalt Syndicate's really popular? Injury. So I actually know quite a few like Cobalt Syndicate members, and so like.
and this is the
had
sort of
that
thing that has happened before.
Yes.
And so you're like let's pull out this old story. It's definitely something that has happened. Not only has it actually happened, it's definitely happened more than once. So
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, no.
The guilds hate the syndicate, so like.
Oh yeah.
makes sense.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, so I'm gonna try to bamboozle them. What's a devil's
Yeah, I
bargain
think you
sound like?
literally said when you were on injury that you were helping the Cobalt Syndicate.
I think I did.
Yeah,
I think
I think you
yeah.
did. So you set yourself up there for sure. What is a devil's bargain?
Yeah.
Oh, this is perfect. One of these guys was treated by you on injury.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
And so knows who you are, Dr. Sang.
All right. I'm cool with that. I've been ship hopping anyway, so it's not a big deal.
True, but it does put a little teeny tiny like sliver of doubt into this.
Oh, for sure. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I can talk to them and be like, "Hey, yo, we got a thing going on here." But that'll be afterwards. That'll be a 5.
That'll be 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So this guy's name is Ruda Quag.
And chat for me.
I'm going to. Let me see. Did I actually?
It's a very solid space name. I gotta say that much.
Ruda Quag.
Ruda
I'm
Quag.
digging it.
Okay.
He, him, human.
Correct and correct.
Okay.
And I think, yeah. Oh yeah, this is the perfect consequence. Actually, I think. So, the guy who like was in the center was not Ruda. It was some muscle bound guy. You don't have his name yet, but
Right.
like
You saved my brother.
he's like thinking. So you hesitate, I think, is what happens. It's like you're gonna come and you're gonna give this speech, and you see Ruda there, and you recognize him, recognize you.
All right.
And so if you go forward and going to take this 5, that he's going to spread this information to everybody else. Like he's going to be like, "Oh, I remember Dr. Sang from treating me and some others on injury," which at first brush seems like it's a good thing because you're like, Oh, yeah, that would make sense that he would be part of the Cobalt Syndicate. He helped other Cobalt Syndicate people. But then when you actually like dig into it, it's like, yeah, he was just this wandering medic who kept taking odd jobs, you know.
I'm gonna resist that, and I know how.
Sure.
And I think I'm gonna play into my vice, which is helping people in need. And it's gonna be a case of like recognize Ruta, but talking to the center dude, just saying, I myself am traveling. I have been traveling from place to place, and this is the latest crew who has been hit by those bastards in the guilds. So, if you have anybody that is in need of medical attention, I can do that for you. I am a doctor after all.
Okay. So basically,
which resist is it?
Yeah, I think that's probably insight.
Okay. Yeah, it is a understanding in this case.
Yeah.
0 bonus dice. That's a 5. I only take 1 stress. Sick.
Not bad.
Doing pretty good on the stress so far.
Yeah, pretty good.
So far. So yeah, this guy nods and is like, okay. And kind of backs down a little bit, is like, those fucking bastards. They're always trying to tear us down, and
we'll give them what's coming to them. Nah.
And like I picture you guys do like, I don't know, some kind of like arm cross thing, like
clasp.
Yeah, like a clasp. Anyway, yeah, you can get past that. And now you have run of the station.
Perfect.
We're right around time of a break.
Yeah, we
so
can do that now.
Let's set up a bit of a cliffhanger then. Tell me, Shae, where does the crew? What is the scene that we see when we come across Tatsuki and also Blish?
I think it's very much like the crew walks in like into whatever main opening station where a bunch of people are kind of like moving about, and
is it like an interior bazaar kind of a situation?
It's like Tatsuki stepped out from like one side of a crowd and Maneki stepped out from like the other, and they both just kind of like see each other and start to move towards each other. And then like as they're like about to meet, you know, they both kind of like see off to the side the Blish and his crew now getting hassled by these union members who are not taking it and just kind of maybe just like move them aside. So like they start to make their way in.
All right, so now we've got Maneki, we've got Tatsuki dressed not at all like we've ever seen her in the flashbacks, but still recognizably the same person. She's lost a little weight. She's, her hair has been cropped very short. It either was shaved and has grown out, or someone took a knife to it. It's kind of uneven and definitely not like professional stylishly cut.
What you do when you're hiding?
Yeah. Two of you turn to see Blish and his crew like push past those guys that you just came through. And then we'll cut to a small break, and then we'll deal with the fallout of what they're gonna do and what you're gonna do to them in the middle of a crowded bazaar.
Yes.
I mean, talk to them. Well, gang, we're gonna go ahead and take our break, so everybody buckle in, and we'll be back shortly. Get up, stretch, grab something to drink if you need to, and we'll be back shortly.
See y'all soon.
crying dog. Oh, poor baby. Mwah.
Figured I should adjust my hair too, since I saw everybody else at the same time doing it.
It's very important, the simultaneous hair adjustment.
It was a Brady Bunch moment. Like, I know the chat can't see it, but there was a moment where everybody was just kind of like adjusting on the cameras and just looking around. It's like, I know
my hair tends to get very unruly.
Yeah, it's like, I know everybody else saw it too, because there were a couple smirks as everyone was just fixing their hair. Alright.
Be done.
I'm going to take us off the Be Right Back, and whenever you're ready, Kelsa.
I've just talked so many times with my microphone muted, it's not even funny.
We weren't ignoring you, it's true.
I just figured you were. It was fine.
No, you genuinely were muted. We did not hear anything you said.
So the first thing I said is I'm loving watching art Twitter with the new Clip Studio Pro update that came out, and how they're just like trashing Photoshop because of it. Because you can.
I guess I need to update my Clip Studio Pro.
There's like a auto setting to record speed paints. You can move your Photoshop brushes over to Clip Studio Pro without changing the file type. And there is now storyboarding templates for webtoons.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Damn. That is rad.
And you don't have to pay $40 a fucking month for it.
Yes. I was gonna say, but also Photoshop is a photo editing software, but the thing is, Lightroom exists, so like, it can't even say that.
Yeah.
Adobe, you've done this to yourself.
Right.
And then there's Illustrator. Illustrator is cool if you need to mess with vectors, but...
Yeah, but there are other, like, good vector manipulation programs out there, too, so...
Yeah.
Well, Clip Studio lets you do raster and vector files.
Yep.
Yeah, Adobe just wrote themselves into a hole where they made everything, Clip Studio and stuff has made everything so much better. And they're just like, give us money. It's like,
Kinda.
I mean, Photoshop's still going to get, like, the corporate money. It'll never change, but...
For sure. And I will tell you that while, like, enrolled in school, they made things like Adobe and stuff significantly cheaper to the point that it was, like, $5 a month, which you're still paying money, but it was like, if you didn't have access to, like, the 50% off or even knew that it existed, $40 to $5 is a hell of a talking point.
I know.
Dope.
I know at my university, for some of the majors, you just had access to Photoshop.
Yeah, for a little while, like I didn't even go to college, but I did summer like college credit courses my senior year at University of Arts Pennsylvania, and just because I had an email address for that school, I had free Photoshop until they deactivated my email address like 5.5 years later.
Yeah, no, that's basically what it is. You just need to be enrolled, really, and you can plug in your student discount. It's pretty great. Like, just as long as they figure out you're not going to the classes, then you're golden.
Yeah.
But
hey,
anyway,
That's
we
fine.
have a game to play.
And I think that my dog has stopped randomly barking. He was very intent on trying to play with my wife a second ago while she was changing,
intense barking.
and he was borking. That's one thing we didn't talk about is I got a new dog, and he is
Wait, another
adorable.
new dog?
No, but I mean, like, I got this new dog after we'd last played.
No. You've had.
Did I?
Mm-hmm. We've seen the
I'm
dog.
pretty sure that it was like right after. I've seen. I don't think it was on stream though. I thought
No,
it was.
I think so. Yeah, we've seen Doggo.
Well,
We've-
never mind then.
I
dog.
think we only had the 1 week before we had the break, so we didn't get Doggo updates, but we do know of Dog.
He's a dog, and I love him. And I'm learning things that he will bark at because when we first got him, he was very, 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 very shy and would hide and cry instead of like doing dog stuff. But now he's getting more and more used to being here and is doing more and more dog stuff.
That's really
But that also means that now we have to get him to stop barking.
Yeah, he was when we saw him.
Ideally.
He was jealous that the cats were getting attention.
That's very likely. Yes.
He was also attacking Cat, which was
Mhm.
sick.
That's okay. He gets along pretty good with the cats now. He only occasionally tries to chase Autumn up and down the stairs.
Getting
And
along better
you know.
with Mari.
that is true. He's getting along better with Mari, which is very good. But it's not about my dogs.
It's about cats.
It's about cats in space, not dogs in the earth. Inside of the earth. No, but here in space, you are meeting up with your long lost friend, Tatsuki, and now you see your long lost rival Blish. What does Blish look like? I don't think we've ever had him properly described.
I think we have not. I think he's kind of got that like really sort of like rugged look where their skin is a bit more tanned. They look like they've been. They look like they've been. They look like they've had like field experience or something like that. But I also imagined them being like really well kept and dressed. We're really well dressed. But like probably has like a very like even though they have like that tanned like callous skin, they have like neatly trimmed beard and stuff. Probably kind of stocky.
Nope.
Cool. Yeah, and he's a mystic, right?
Yes, he is.
And how about the rest of the members of his gang following him? Are they hired thugs? Or are they also mystics? What do you think?
I think these are probably like.
Can I suggest one of the thugs?
Go for it.
Garth.
God damn it, Garth.
Garth.
Fucking Garth.
Is that a person in our notes? I have to look.
Garth is my down tick for knots.
Okay.
Garth is a bounty hunter.
Yeah, it was the person we weren't supposed to joke about. Fucking Garth.
Oh, fucking Garth. That's right. Sure. One is Garth, and the other is probably one of
Garth and Brooks.
Garth and Brooks.
Oh,
It is now. Yeah,
God.
the other's another another member of his crew. Probably another thug type. So we have Garth and Brooks and Blish.
All right. So, because reasons, I'm gonna say that Brooks, is played by my friend Brooks. So he's just a large black man, you know, and who except like swole as hell, but also wearing glasses because that's important.
He never takes them off.
Yep.
Swole.
And. What does Garth look like? I don't think we got a description of Garth, Knox. What
mean,
what does it look like?
Garth is like. So I'm
Garth
trying to put this into context.
Wings for all.
No, I got that. So if there's a show like The Mandalorian that exists in the Procyon sector, he tries to look exactly like the main character. So like, if
with or without
Garth existed now, he would try his hardest to look like Mando.
So does that mean that in the era before the Mandalorian, he would, like, I don't know, have chosen a different captain or someone to emulate, like, I don't know, Captain Reynolds of Firefly, or?
Yeah, exactly. They've gone through different phases, I guess. They've just, every time like a new hit sci-fi
It's not a phase.
run by myself.
Excuse me, it's not a sci-fi, it's a period drama. Like
Yeah,
it's a you know.
I'm
Oh,
surprised.
no, shit. Change of plans. He is pretty much Dog the Bounty Hunter for Procyon Sector.
Okay, there we go. Because I was like, he's not just a 501st Legion cosplayer, like, you know.
Oh, this is better. Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yeah.
Dog the Bounty Hunter, perfect. Except his name's Garth.
Except his name's Garth.
Except his name is Garth. Okay. Brilliant.
White guy, blonde curly hair, like Jerry Curl.
Also, always wears glasses.
No glasses. Or always wears sunglasses.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
It's like they just never, these two never take their sunglasses off.
And this is gonna come back to bite us in the ass, but
This is the
always
way.
carries a heavy blaster. Like slung across their back or something.
Of course he does.
Yep. And nobody questions it in this, like, rink-a-dink,
He just
like,
pulls out his mall cop badge and says,
Weapons,
Yeah.
weapons are his religion, so you can't take it away from him.
But
yes.
They definitely stand out, and that's why Maneki and Toski notice them immediately.
Yep, for sure. And Knots, you're there as well, and you definitely notice Garth.
Can I flip a coin or roll a dice to see if I notice him before he notices me?
Sure, if you want to.
Blood rage.
It's entirely up to you if you would like to.
One I notice, two he notices. Okay, I notice.
Like a zing.
So
You have
all
half a
of
second.
the hair down my spine just goes stark upright, and I lean over and I look at Dr. Sang, and I kind of clamber up Sang's leg to grab a blaster pistol from Sang's hip.
Sang does have a gun on.
Okay, that's why I said it with a question mark.
You come out with a syringe.
Yeah, you come out with like a syringe because Sang's not gonna carry a gun
exactly.
on.
I come out with the syringe that's like, it's in my mouth, and I say, this is going hard for work. And I just beeline straight at Garth with the syringe.
Gonna grab you by the scruff of your neck before you get too far. Pull you back if I can.
I'm borderline feral right now.
Okay.
I laugh because it's funny.
I want to keep us cool. So, I guess, is it possible for Dr. Sang to not have you go ape shit, try to go auto ape shit?
You would have to physically restrain knots, which I'm totally cool with you doing out of character, but you would have to do that in character.
Dr. Sang would try because we have a cover to maintain.
Okay. Do you have, just out of curiosity, do you have a rank in scrap?
I do.
Okay,
I do in
so
fact have
I do
scrap.
not. So I just say you succeed.
Okay, cool.
Unless there's like an actual way to do it, but
It's
otherwise
up
I'm fine with it.
it's up to you basically, like whether there's a question of it. And
Yeah, you just power me down out of sheer whatever. Do you like try to walk me out or something? Or?
Dr. Sang has experience with this being a military doctor. The worse has happened. I think like they walk you knots away from like the area, like around a corner or something, and it's just like facing you, just like, what are you doing?
I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Who?
Garth.
I don't know who that is.
It's the motherfucker over there with the sunglasses inside a mining colony.
So, just to remind you all, this is like a crowded
Garth
promenade.
can hear at this point if he's trying to. Like, I'm causing a ruckus.
All right, but this is not like the six of you are like the only people here. This is a crowded area. There's everybody else from Tatsuki's ship is here now. There's everybody who works here. You guys went behind like a little like ramen stall that's cooking ramen, and it has like 2 or 3 like stools in front that are both all occupied currently. And you like went around the side of it, and like you look across and you can see Garth there standing along next to Brooks, and in the middle is
I'd like to use the ruckus to my advantage and try and slip Totski away, slip away with her into the crowd and try to get her back to the ship. But I look to the rest of my crew, so they're aware, and there's definitely like those hackles raised when I see Blish, and the tail's puffed up. So,
I love how our party is like 2 feral animals and a bunch of dudes that have no idea what's going on right now.
It's very much a this is interesting sort of reaction.
But I'll just say, you're being hesitant. We're getting you out of here, and I want to try to.
Sure. It definitely sounds like that. This ruckus that's being caused is helping you. I'm gonna ask Outro, do you want to make a roll here as Knots to like as a setup action to have this ruckus give better position or effect? Well, your position is going to be controlled, so it would only give you better effect.
What type of role do you think that would be? I guess I'm like trying to scramble free of Zhang's grip.
Well, I mean, are you trying to cause a ruckus, or are you accidentally causing a ruckus while trying to scramble free of the grip?
I'm not trying or accidentally. It's just like I stopped thinking. It's all this.
You got the bloodlust.
Yeah, I got the bloodlust.
Um,
Eyes glazed over. Everything.
if you're trying to do the setup action, probably the most likely thing would be sway.
Okay, I'll roll sway.
Because this is us trying to convince them that we are the people that should be the thing that should be focused on, not something else.
Standard?
We're playing or it could be skulk, because we're doing sleight of hand in a way, just large.
Well, I think that Mineki's going to be rolling skulk to hide, to sneak away.
Skulk to skulk. No, but it's sway. Sway's good. Fine.
So sway, controlled standard.
Yep.
What's a devil bargain look like?
I'm gonna help you in spite of myself.
Wait, is that a devil's bargain?
No. Regardless, because I'm gonna spend a stress to help you by virtue of the fact that I'm stopping you from making this worse.
I mean, I think the most obvious devil's bargain here is that Garth gets to you. Like, he's suddenly he's there and on you.
Blish is really annoyed because he's having trouble controlling his crewmates.
I don't want that.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah.
I don't want that devil's bargain.
Okay.
But I am going to take Dr. Sang's help. Yeah!
Nice! Nice!
You and me!
Alright. Mineki.
Dr. Sang.
So, Mineki.
Most unlikely pair.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see it. So you're going to be controlled great to get out of this.
Cool.
Come on, 6.
Great. 5.
That's a 5.
All right. So I think you get most. Obviously, you could not go back the way you came because that's right towards Blish.
Yeah.
And I think you get about, like, I want to say, I don't know, like 7/8 of the way across this like indoor bazaar promenade kind of area that's got a bunch of like stalls set up and like you know, people milling around buying stuff, some proselytizers standing on a thing talking about some weird, you know, way cult as you do. And you're most of the way across when the fire alarm goes off. And all of a sudden it is absolute pandemonium as all of the civilians start panicking and trying to like fire on a space station.
Oh,
that's
Really?
bad. It's
Yeah.
bad news
Bad.
bears.
I do
So
that.
you've got people suddenly like surging towards the outer ring, towards their ships, towards the emergency escape pods.
Cool. We're gonna float with the crowd until we get to my ship, and I'll like hop onto her shoulder and just like direct her.
Yeah. So you do it, and which means that you make it out, but there's this you're in this like press of people.
Yeah.
And you might get separated from her, but I think we're gonna cut away from you and her for right now and see what the rest of everybody else is doing
Yep.
and how they're going to get out of this, because Blush was going to follow you, but that's not happening now. So everybody else, what do you do? I'm picturing like this freeze frame of like Dr. Sang like holding Knots, and Knots is like scrambling over their shoulder or something.
One of those Ocean's 11 weird editing like screen cuts where it like starts one person and then like it'll pan around and then like cut the screen in half and look at another person.
Yes. What about Marvin 7 and what about Raylith? What are you guys doing?
Raylith would just be following Maneki like through the crowd kind of thing.
Okay, you're gonna need to make your own roll, especially as the fire alarm goes off.
Okay.
Like Maneki staying with Tatsuki is already a challenge. For you to keep up with both of them is gonna be even harder.
So I'm gonna use kinetics then.
Okay, are you like literally pushing people in the crowd around?
I will jump above the crowd and propel myself.
Oh, okay.
He's just like,
Okay.
You do that.
You're gonna crouching tiger, hidden dragon thing
That's
where
right.
you're just gonna like
That's
jump
what I was
up
thinking.
on like the stalls and just go over people's heads. Sweet. Yeah, that sounds a lot to me like you're scrambling. Yes. Spend your stress to do your kinetics and scramble for me. This is no longer a controlled situation.
I wonder why.
Things do seem fairly out of fucking control right now, so I understand.
So I think we're gonna be at good old Lord Skurlock's risky standard.
So I'm gonna push myself. Do we still have both gambits?
Yes, I think you do.
Yeah, I don't
We have
think
not
So-
used any of the gambits.
I'm going to push myself and use a gambit. And you know we're going with good old Rhys's Desperate Great, right? So
Okay.
I was also gonna be sneaking because that was the priority. Dr. Sang.
You can sneak in a minute.
Yeah, but just
For
so
sure.
you know what I'm doing, because you. But let's see how his goes first.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
oof.
Okay.
I mean, at least it's fours.
I mean, obviously, you've put a target on your head.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is panicking. There's a fire alarm going off, and some fucking weirdo is leaping around in the inside of this place. And I think definitely you're going to you're going to get hurt. And I think the question is how.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah. Okay.
First responders shoot him with a tase gun.
They just tase him. Oh no.
That I don't know. Station security is just like that's the person who started the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I definitely feeling tasered. So yeah, you get
I am
tased.
100% resisting that.
Don't tase me, bro.
Yeah, right.
You're still gonna get tased, but it'll be reduced in thing. So
like my big thing is like I don't want to be paralyzed. Like
yes. So I mean, are you also going to spend some boxes and say you have armor on that maybe these diodes don't stick into it fully?
I can do that.
Okay. So if you're gonna need to make a roll a prowess resist, but the resist and the armor together would mean that you'd only take level 1 harm of like slightly singed.
Let's go.
Ryleth's
What
done this
kind
before.
of armor does Ryleth have as a mystic? Like,
So I feel like he has armor underneath his monk robes that's like ceramic plated. So like you know how like the old Japanese warriors had the ceramic cuirass and stuff? I feel like under his armor he has ceramic plates. So not only is it great against the impact of like a weapon, but it's also good against the impact of like things like projectiles.
yeah, awesome. I love it. Okay, sweet. Yeah, so I think that you with your armor in place, you are merely slightly singed by these tasers, and it hurts like the dickens, but you are not paralyzed, and you're free to continue running. You succeeded, so that's it. You're good there. And you're out. So I heard someone was going to be sneaking. I think that's who we're going to come around to next.
Yeah. Still risky standard?
Yeah, it's still risky standard. Like I said, there is absolute fucking pandemonium going on. How are you getting out? Like, I know you said you're like sneaking.
I am blending into the crowd and being as nondescript as possible, which may be a little bit difficult, but I think my disguise is like Marvin did not take off their space mining helmet so that they don't know that he's a robot. So he's just being, you know, the Among Us where it's like, I'm wearing my spacesuit indoors, don't worry about it.
Right, okay.
It's pretty sus.
Yeah, sure.
That might be pretty sus.
It's pretty sus.
Yeah.
That's pretty sus. I'm so sorry. Oh, you know what it is? It's that someone is panicking, and like, one of the vendors has been in a fire on a spaceship before and starts panicking. And as you walk by, he sees your spacesuit and he sees the full oxygen tank on the back, and he just like glumps onto it and is like begging you, pleading, like, give me your oxygen, please, I can't die here. And it has absolutely grinds your progress to a halt.
Just
and
dragged to a...
and this guy, he's trying to take the suit off of you. He's like, please, I have so much money. I'm a vendor here. I will give you so much for this suit, please. Don't let me, don't let me die in the street, sort of thing. And like people are like surging around you, and people are like giving dirty looks, and but everyone keeps moving, and no one's gonna stop.
I'm just surprised the word glomp made it out of the 2008
I'm
furry
glad that it
world.
made it out. Let me tell you, high school me had just like was reawoken and was like, I remember that. That's a
Glomp
word
is
I
a
haven't
fantastic
heard
term.
in a long time.
You're welcome. So yeah, what do you do?
Marvin's first reaction is, how many credits?
What you got, sucker?
Yeah, I
He said
think
he's
we
got
can.
money. It is genuinely how many credits.
I think maybe we can cut away from that, and then we can discuss this later. You probably will get like at least one credit for the ship. Possibly more.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But Dr. Sang and Knots, the two of you were engaged in a little
discussion.
Very
So,
hands-on discussion.
the answer to this question is very important to my next move.
Okay.
Have I lost line of sight with Garth?
I did drag you around a corner, so
Yes.
Okay, I'm fine now.
also I think we come back. I think we come back to Dr. Sang snatching the syringe back. It's just like, what did you think you were going to do? Stick him with hydroxychloroquine? That's not going to work.
It's not.
That's a blood thinner.
Yeah, but if I got him in the eye.
Ugh. No. Then I have to fix him.
Well, we should get the hell out of here. Probably get back to the ship. I want to grab the closest all-terrain vehicle and hotwire that shit.
I mean, there aren't any all-terrain vehicles. You're
On a space station.
Like you were just watching
I'm confusing the fact that we're wearing minor uniforms, but on a space station. I keep fucking myself up with that.
The closest all-terrain vehicle is Dr. Sang.
Yeah, there might be like a mall cop scooter. Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll take golf cart. Yeah, whatever.
Sure. I mean, I'll allow it. I mean, I don't think you even really have to do much to hotwire it. I mean, I don't think the security officer took the keys. I mean, I think they're probably actually standing fairly close by, to be honest, directing traffic and telling people not to, stampede over each other.
Yeah, but I'm like 2 feet tall, so whatever.
I really hope it's just like
I'm like walking between people's legs and shit, and I get in the driver's seat and I look over to Dr. Sang.
Dr. Sang.
I turn the key.
Yeah, Dr. Sang gives you a look and just is the 2-finger salute and runs toward the fire.
Well, you don't actually see any fire.
Runs towards the alert because
there you go.
People might be hurt and they have an instinct.
A true hero.
Yep.
And I kind of swear loudly, in several languages unknown to many people.
Uh-huh.
And the traffic cop turns around and sees me. I turn the car off and I scurry out the other side of it and follow Dr. Sang into the...
Aww. That is the cutest scene. Okay. That's
so 3 of us are getting out. 2 of us are.
That's fine. Yeah, so, That's a very good question as to where we go to next. I think it has to be back around to Maneki and Tatsuki. You're almost... Actually, I think we need a roll before you get to the ship. Okay. I think it's a ways to get back to the ship, especially because you had to go around instead of the most direct route. Mm-hmm. And there is still this crush of people, and you are literally a cat.
Yeah.
So what do you do to ensure that you and Tatsuki can get back to the Rocksteady without getting separated or crushed or lost?
I think is there any certain limit on how wave powers work? I'm not sure how much freedom I have to make something up if I do the flashback thingy now.
Gotcha. What are you trying to do? In a perfect world, what would you want to be pulling out of your butt right now? And if this free flashback is not enough to get you what you want, then we can discuss what it would take to actually get that.
I think perhaps... maybe... maybe Horax was able to get me some kind of like way trinket or maybe one of the gems from Shimmer or Glimmer, I mean, that I might be able to use to make using my kinetics easier. Like maybe something I can use that would keep me from getting stressed out for a moment, to be able to use that to get us back safely.
And how would you be using kinetics to get yourself back? Like, what do you want it to, like, what do you want to be able to do with it, that power or that trinket?
I want to like hop on like Toski's shoulder and like create like a kind of like a field around us, so that as we're moving, we're just kind of like, I'm just kind of like shunting people aside, not like forcibly, but kind of like a wedge, just like to keep people from crushing in close and making it easier to move.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think that's something that you could theoretically do with your power, and I think some kind of trinket that would let you focus it, like into a more effective tool for this score, and at the end of the score it, like, fizzles out, and either would need to be like replaced or like recharged or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Okay.
I do that.
So
there's that like flashback of Horax like contacting Maneki and like telling her he had this sent over, and to use it to help ensure Totski's well-being.
Oh yeah, perfect, awesome. Yeah, and so like I think that it sounds to me like you're just trying to get there as quickly as you can now with this added like bonus. Like, then this sounds like it's going to increase your effect to get there. There are still some dangers, but so it's still risky, but like the specific dangers are different than they would have been otherwise. So yeah, you're looking at risky standard now. With this improved effect, you're going to be able to get there with this one roll.
Do you want scramble or attune?
I think it's scramble here. I don't think you need to roll for the attune to like get the wedge into place, and like then the crystal will help you hold it there. So it's really about just,
Okay, so
the movement.
Risky standard, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, that's bad.
Ooh, that's real bad.
Okay. So I think what happens is, as you're going along, you've got your little wedge, and you start, just slipping through people and subtly pushing them aside. And all of a sudden, you realize that you have made it into a corridor where there's nobody else already there. And you're like, sweet, we've got like a straight run to whatever. Except at the end of the corridor, there is Blish. And you look around behind you, and there is Garth and Brooks. You're blocked in. Now, before we see what you do with that, I know that Rylith was not far behind you. And Marvin 7 was not far behind that. So where do you, like, Rylith, do you think it's possible that you could have caught up and be like nearby here? You're muted, my friend.
Walking on people's heads, I think so.
So that certainly was my goal when I did my crazy acrobatics, was to catch up to Maneki, because Rylith is basically kind of here to protect her. So.
Okay, yeah. Okay, then I say then, in fact, when you do that turnaround to see, okay, who's where, you realize that Rylith has caught up with you and is the only other person in this hallway. But then behind him is Garth and Brooks at the other end of the hallway.
Now, quick question about using gambits. When you use a gambit to not take stress, does that include stress you take from pushing yourself with that ability?
Yes, because if the ability, like for example, your vision's ability, like you have to spend a stress to use it, and then also a stress for an additional thing, an additional thing, an additional thing.
Gotcha.
So you could spend the gambit if it's something that you would use to push yourself, and then you would not have to spend the stress of pushing yourself. And then if there's like additional stuff on top of that, the gambit would also pay for that additional stuff.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. Just had to make a little readjustment there.
And Marvin 7, you were going more slowly, and you got caught, so you're not anywhere near here.
Yeah, he wouldn't be there because he's trying to make a deal now.
Yeah, so you're gonna make some money. So it's just Rylith that made it cut up with Maneki. So what do you want to do with this gambit? I thought Maneki had a plan.
Okay.
I was just confirming who was where.
Oh, me? Oh, no,
yes.
that was for the gambit I already used. I wanted to know...
Okay.
I was trying to figure out how much stress I had.
Ah, I see. I thought you had a brilliant plan and wanted to see if you had enough stress to pull it off.
I mean, I have sort of a plan, but I was going to wait and see. I was going to wait and let the other stuff go.
Alright, Rylith, what are you doing? You managed to catch up, and everything was great, and you guys made it into a side hallway, and it seemed like everything was fine. But then, at the end of the hallway, there is this posh-looking guy with his perfectly trimmed beard, and then you turn around and look, and you see two goons that had used to be next to him earlier have now surrounded you and are at the other end of the hallway. A large, burly black man wearing glasses, and then a white guy with a blonde mullet and sunglasses.
So what I'm going to do is use kinetics and super speed my way up, and basically like do the kung fu move where you basically throw your back forward to knock them back with your momentum. So I'm going to use super speed and then just like ram into them and try to basically like push them to both sides out of the way. Yeah. Okay.
Because they're split up, and like I picture that this trap is sprung when you guys are like right in the middle of a hallway that's like, I don't know, I want to say like 20 feet long or something, and it's like it's not a super long hallway, but it's also not like really short, so you're not like right next to them.
So they're not standing next to each other, though.
No, it was like
so there's two people standing next to each other, and then one person on the other side, and then you guys are in the middle.
Could bowling ball the two.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, you can bowling ball two for sure. That would be Garth and Brooks.
I think that's the plan.
Okay,
that's the play.
That sounds like a great plan. So spend your stress to use your power.
I did indeed.
Fantastic.
We're still at risky, right?
Yes. No. No, you are trapped in a hallway between two opposing forces. This is desperate.
Okay, desperate.
There's this maneuver called the pincher, and they have used it against you.
Wait, counter them with the serpentine.
Unfortunately, you're in a very small hallway, so that's not going to be very helpful.
No, you need to counter with the moves like water.
Of course.
There you go.
Nice. Fantastic. Okay. So yeah, you bowl and ball into these two guys, and they knock over. All three of you are in a little pile on the ground. Maneki, you're still on Tatsuki's shoulders, and you can see at the end of the hallway, facing directly towards you, is Blish.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm gonna hop down and like get in front of her like protectively, and I would like to have my treasure crystal be my precursor artifact, and I will mark that on my items if that will help me in some way. And thematically, I'd like it to be like a silhouette of treasure, but with me in the inside of the silhouette, and I'm like in the exact same position or the silhouette's in the exact same position as I am.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm getting ready to throw down with Blish.
Yeah, for sure. Like, are you gonna throw the first punch, or are you waiting for him to make a move?
The first paw.
The first paw. I am going to. No, he's in the way, and I have to protect Tatsuki. So I imagine there's that, and then just like all the hackles raise, and there's just this really low.
All right, so yeah, so you're gonna wait for him to make the move. Because there's this small moment when he springs this trap, and you guys look at each other, and you look around and you see that Garth and Brooks have you blocked in from behind, but then all of a sudden Rylith does this crazy flying like parkour run along the wall flip kick, and barrel rolls into these two guys, knocking them over, and then you like look back, and so you've got this moment where Blish has just seen his two goons taken out. And you are looking like fierce as hell.
Yeah.
And so you have just like a moment where he's slightly off kilter. If you want to make the first move, or
attack.
he's gonna, yeah, do it.
Scrap.
Yeah, probably sounds like it.
What is position effect for this?
It is. I think it's still desperate, because even though you've taken out the goons, like, Blish is a formidable foe by himself.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got a lot of stuff going for you, so I'm gonna say it's standard, so desperate standard.
Desperate standard. I will push myself for this.
Heck yeah.
We have a gambit left, too.
One gambit remaining.
Yeah, I specifically didn't use it in case Maneki needed it.
Kill your rivals.
Yeah. Can I use kinetics to add more dice to this? Just like be a rapid.
I don't think it would let you add any more dice to it.
Okay, that's fair.
Just use
but you can use the gambit to just add an extra die that way.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I will do that. Five.
Oh.
Oof. All right. Let me move all of these gambits. 5. Oof. All right.
That's bad.
So, I mean, you do it, but this is desperate, and there's consequences.
Yeah.
What I would like to know is, what does it look like? Like, there's a moment where you are a total badass, and you are like throwing down, and just so we're clear, even a success is not going to be taking him out in one shot. But you've definitely done some damage, and you're like,
I think it's very much like I'm in front of Tatsuki, and just like shielding her, and there's that moment where he's off kilter, and it's like the silhouette and me just like leap out on at the same time, and this big like clawed paw comes down, and and there's that moment where there's like if this were an anime, you'd see like the claw streaks on a black screen.
Yes.
And then Blish like sliding back with like trails of like holding his hands up to protect himself. And there's just like 2 trails of dust from his feet still on the ground.
Right, where he got pushed back. Nice.
So I'm going to post in here exactly what I did.
Hmm?
You have to click on Open Original to actually see it, but this is kind of what I was going for. I posted it in the Scum art dump.
Didn't open. Yeah, it's coming up as a PNG instead of a GIF or anything. So, question is, what is the consequence here? This is the most severe consequence I can think of that does not result in physical harm to you. Tatsuki is scared of you. She backs up and is like, "You've changed." You can resist that if you'd like, but yeah. I think it's an insight resistance to show her that you're still you, even though you've gotten like significantly more powerful.
Yeah. I think what I do, I just say, I don't really look back because my eyes are like on Blish, but my ears are like are back and I can hear her. But I say, ever since I found out you were alive, I knew I had to protect you. I would do anything. I would never give up on you.
All right, let's see them rolls. How much stress does it cost you?
2 stress.
2 stress. Yeah, I think there's like a 2 stress long heartbeat before she finally responds. You know, of course. You know, like, and like you can see, like, feel the relief in her voice as she realizes that, you know, everything you've done was to get back to her, you know, and that
I'll introduce you to Treasure when this is over.
I think I'd like that. And like you have that little moment, and then of course, in true villain fashion, Blish is like, "I hate to interrupt your little moment." But like he's now, he's like shook off the thing. He's like bleeding from like scratches, and like his hair is all mussed up. But he suavely pushes it back and tries to pretend like everything's fine. And he's like, "But I'm afraid you need to get out of my way, little kitty cat. Tatsuki has codes that I need. Little Quinn," and like he sneers. "I thought that she could give me a run for my money, but I finally tracked you down." And he's like stalking closer down the hall.
Yeah. And I say, "Your mustache isn't long enough for that monologue."
That's a brilliant one-liner. What do you follow that up with?
Take a
Sorry.
step.
I'm gonna follow that up with. I think it's just gonna. I think it's gonna be another scrap.
Sure. With more kinetic attacks.
Yeah, more kinetic attacks.
Bam, bam, bam. All right, sweet. And Riley, I think you were also saying something.
I was just saying that I was moving closer to Maneki because it looks like it's going to be a fight with this thing. So that's all I got.
Sure.
So when she's done beating him up, I will then also beat him up.
What does fine melee weapon do?
A fine melee weapon is a melee weapon that is better than a regular one. You tell me, what kind of a weapon would Maneki carry around? A melee weapon being like for hand-to-hand combat and not like a ranged weapon, not like a pistol or something.
Yeah.
A mouth dagger, duh.
A knife dagger. I don't know. Do you have like those? Like, do you have like metallic extensions to your claws?
I mean, I was gonna say, since I'm going off the theme with using like the silhouette as a weapon.
Okay.
Then maybe just to go with like the telekinetic theme, to add to like the psychic slashing to this, some scrap from just laying around just like goes like into the wherever the claws are in this silhouette.
Sure. Okay, that's cool.
So what would that do for me as far as mechanics go?
That would give you better effect of it, essentially. Like, I think with that, you could potentially like murder him. Now, remember, he is a mystic, so he could potentially fuck with this too.
Yeah.
And I think he like in his monologue, you're like your mustache is too short or whatever, and he's like short, no one to talk. You may have caught me off guard, but I'm ready for you now, little cat.
Is this what's position effect for this?
Still desperate.
Still desperate.
But you're looking at great effect if you can just rip him apart, maybe.
Come on. Ooh.
Yeah. Like, he is cocky as shit.
Yeah.
But he is not actually, like, he was prepared to block your just straight up kinetic attacks. But the fact that you've like pulled scrap out of like that was like lining the walls or whatever, and just managed to put like actual pieces of metal into it, he was not ready for that. He didn't even consider that possibility. And you, I think that I can't imagine a scenario where he survives what you do to him.
I think there's a moment where there's a bit of like a protracted psychic battle where it's like you don't see what's happening because it's all psychic, but there's definitely like vibration in the air as they're doing their back and forth, and it's very much like a mental struggle before I bring like physical weapons into this.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now he's distracted, and you know they both move towards each other, and I think this is like a like they do that thing where in like samurai showdowns where they go past each other, and then they're both silhouettes.
Yes.
And there's a moment just before there's a and he collapses.
Yeah. I love it.
And just like as he's bleeding out on the ground, I turn around and just like walk.
Oh, and immediately as soon as he falls on the ground and dies, the fire alarm stops going off. It had been going on the entire time in the background, and you'd just been ignoring it because much more interesting things were happening. But as soon as that blood erupts, all of a sudden it's like silent, and then it goes wah, 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 and then we hear thunk as his body hits the deck.
Fucking sundering.
Uh,
Clever bastard. All right, yeah. But yeah, I'm just like walking away from his body. I like trot past him. I'm heading back to Tatsuki.
And I think you see in the background, Garth and Brooks have scrambled back up to their feet. They look at each other. They look at the mess of their boss on the front floor. And they open the door. They managed to unlock it. Obviously, they were the ones that locked it. So, and they scramble out that door and disappear into the rest of the crowd.
Awesome. But I think the silhouette of Treasure kind of like shimmers back down to that crystal, and it floats down onto whatever pack I've been using to carry it in.
Mm-hmm.
And I just trot up to Tatsuki and I sit down and I say, nothing will keep me from protecting my family.
Oh, so cute. Now you get to introduce her to the rest of your family.
Yeah.
But
Once I find them all.
Dr. Sang, Knots, I think you may have inferred this was a false alarm.
Yeah, we figured, but still, people stampeding out of a space station, people are gonna get hurt.
Yes.
So.
You definitely find some work to do as a doctor, but there's not actually a fire, which is nice, but there's definitely...
That's good.
Very good.
Scenario.
But you definitely... There's, like, a lot of panic attacks. There's a number of, like, fist fights that erupted, that sort of thing. Maybe a couple of broken bones from someone that, like... got pushed down a stairwell or something.
I'm just there telling Dr. Sang how to do his job if he was a 2.5 foot tall rat person.
They luckily have brought their fine bedside manner with them. So they judiciously ignore most of it, and sometimes come back just like, yes, Knots, that's exactly how that works.
I'm sure some of your patients get a kick out of it.
Oh, for sure. Also, of course, handing out candies and treats for people, including Knots for finally calming down and not trying to murder somebody with a syringe.
So many lollipops.
I don't know
if my hair has gone fully down yet. I'm still a little on edge, but
yeah.
I got my priorities turned into a different direction for a minute.
Dr. Sang gives you a lollipop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I don't think there's much question now of the rest of you all getting back to the ship. Garth and Brooks have gone on their own merry way. Eventually, someone has found the body of Blish, but by that point, I think you've all made it back to the ship. Unless any of you would like to tell me otherwise.
How did my money acquisition go?
Yes, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely get 1 cred if you would like to push for more.
I would love to lock them up for more, so
Okay. You would need to basically, if you fail this roll, they will the negotiation will take so long that the alarm will go off and you won't get anything.
And they'll be like, "Wait, I don't need this." Yeah, no, that's checked out.
But if you get a 6, you'll get 2 creds. If you get a crit, then you'll get 3.
Okay.
Marvin Evans collapsed space suit. This bad boy can fit so many wealthy merchants in it.
Exactly. All right, so Sway.
Oh yeah, that definitely sounds like what you're doing here.
All right. I don't have anybody who can help me. Is this just going to be Is this just going to be a fortune then? Because I don't think.
Yeah, this is essentially a fortune. on a 1, 2, or 3, you fail and get nothing because it takes so long.
Nice.
4,
Otherwise,
5, you get 1. 6, you get 2.
yep.
5.
That's a 5.
So that's a 1. That's what you would have got anyway. But definitely.
It's cool. Always see if you can get it. So yeah, I think Marvin just kind of is the last to arrive and is just like holding this cred stick in their hand
And not wearing their spacesuit.
No longer
I love
back in their pristine 3-piece suit, and like the little like glowing feature on their head unit is just kind of like pulsing curiously, like as they're examining the cred stick. It just looks like just like that weird pulsation of contentment, if you had to put it to anything.
Rylith
Sure.
would definitely ask, like, what happened to your spacesuit?
My what?
Perfect. That's the scene right there. That's the leave on that. What happened to your spacesuit? My what? Yeah, and we will meet Satsuki next time. But first, let's do some XP for everybody.
Expis.
XP.
All right.
So, Rocksteady, did you execute a successful extraction operation or capture of a bounty?
Yes.
We did.
You did. Good job. Did you contend with challenges above your current station?
Is Blush above our current station?
I don't think he is.
Or the Cobalt Syndicate?
Garth Brooks.
Cobalt Syndicate.
Brooks, yeah.
Cobalt Syndicate. Wait, what is your... Nope, there's
Archer's
your
tier
1. So,
Okay,
nope.
no.
Nope.
Okay.
Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one?
We were pretty savvy with acquiring those uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we actually were pretty inconspicuous for the most part. Like,
We weren't the
didn't
ones
cause the
setting off fire alarms.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I will say, Kelsa, that was amazing how you used Sundering in place of an actual fire alarm. It's like I thought one of those 3 had actually pulled the real fire alarm, but
Well, one way or another, they were using psychic powers to do it.
it was pretty cool.
So next is express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of this crew.
We split up.
Which is somehow the essential nature of this crew?
It's the essential nature of the fact that we were a bunch of mercenaries brought together by Maneki.
We divided and conquer. It actually all worked out well.
Yeah.
I feel like Rylith and Maneki were like a team, and I feel like the good Doc and Knots were a team.
And the good doc and the good rat.
The good rat.
And Marvin did what Marvin does best.
Yes.
Somehow get
Money.
Marvin was there to get you guys information at the get-go, and then they made money. So it was a good day for Marvin.
It was a good day for Marvin.
That was so funny.
I just want to use Mechanic's heart and make the entire situation be like, sometimes it bees like that though, and it just gains me potency.
That's what we do sometimes.
Yep. So that's some XP, y'all. I wasn't counting it, so I hope somebody else did.
Crew advance. I did.
Sweet.
We had a crew advance, y'all. We have an advance.
Don't forget your stash.
We get 3 stash, everybody.
I don't
Three
Saintguard the ship with
stash.
gift sticks person.
Yeah, because I GM another Scum Villainy game, so
They just
I know.
had it, so we let them do it.
Basically. Let's go down the list. Maneki, how about you? Did you address a tough challenge with wisdom or the way?
A couple times.
Definitely.
I used my companions. outburst as an effective distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a pretty cool showdown with my rival.
Yeah, not to mention your visions that you used earlier too, as well, to find her, Tatsuki. Yeah. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Oh, so much.
I mean, literally, that was what this whole job was about. Your drives, heritage, and background. And what about your vice and traumas? Your obsessed trauma that's all about this as well.
There was a lot of obsession in this.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of paranoia in it too, because I think as soon as it became clear that Tatsuki was alive, it was completely about her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it didn't matter. So, and I played with the idea of struggling between revenge and protecting her, and then I thought, no, she'd pretty much be paranoid that Blish is after her and obsessed about protecting her.
And I mean, is it paranoia when you're right? It sounds like you did a hat trick and got all your XP possible. Did you also remember to mark your desperate rolls?
I did.
Awesome. Good job, Aneki. Link was not here, but Crow was not here. Rylith, however, was. Rylith, did you address a tough challenge with wisdom or the way? Because you were also a mystic.
Sure did.
You sure did. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
The only thing I would say is being very restrained and not getting in the way of Maneki while she was doing her thing, basically. Like being there for Maneki, but not interfering in what she was doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And did you struggle with any issues from your vice or traumas?
I has no traumas, and we didn't do anything with the vice, so not this time.
Okay. Marvin 7. Did you address a tough challenge with deception or influence?
Yes, I did.
You did. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Yes. Got that.
Yeah.
And also introduce them to people to help get them what they needed.
Yeah. And did you struggle with any issues from your vice or traumas?
No.
You still have a trauma?
No trauma, but his vice is actually, could I didn't define what pleasure is for Marvin, but I do think it is like the pleasure of monetary gain or having nice things, which is why he has a suit and stuff. So maybe,
you were very much like money?
Yeah, and
how much?
Yeah, and so like the acquisition of things would be his pleasure, the greed of it.
Sure.
My pleasure is rampant materialism.
Yeah, exactly. He gets joy out of things because he doesn't feel.
I thought it was because it's a thing.
So you're American, is what you're saying?
Yeah, he's an American robot.
Quick question about him.
Imperialism?
Is the suit, well, is their suit like just like lined with like old world dollar bills that aren't used anymore?
I hope so.
Just like the inside of it is just made of that material?
Probably.
Yeah.
100%. Also, I was going to make the joke also, since he's a Marvin, he just buries all of his crippling depression with material things. So
that tracks, actually. There's a number of Marvins that follows for.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
If you knew anything about the Marvin units, it would be. They just want you to know they're feeling really depressed right now.
Yep. Oh, poor Marvin. Well, that's some XP for you, though. Knots. What about you?
I did
also,
not.
Don't forget your Desperates. Don't forget Desperates.
I did not address a tough challenge with technical skill or ingenuity, but I did express my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Yes, you did. Absolutely. Especially when you were like, "Hey guys, no, fancy place is not my scene. I'm just gonna do some craps with his hobo
I'm
account.
just gonna smoke a joint and do some craps with this guy that's sitting over here. Hey, guy. Hey, I'm not.
I'm picturing this guy, like, with like an overcoat and like a little, like, please help cans, waiting for some credits, and then like Knots just kind of squats down next to him, was like, "Hey, guy, hey, what's up? I'm Knots. We'll play
Play a game
craps."
with me and I'll buy you a sandwich.
That's
Yeah.
probably exactly what happened. Like, I thought I was going to roll up into like a back alley where there's a bunch of sharks playing craps, but it was actually I just hung out with a homeless man and played some dice games for no money.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely what happened. Yeah, and what about your vice or traumas?
Nope, not really. My voice is real weird. It hasn't come up yet. I've literally have ticked stress once since I played this character, so.
And I definitely think that that moment where you like went with Dr. Sang, that was such a great characterization moment as well. Just wanted to
Yeah,
point that
I
out.
definitely liked going with that. It was a good time.
Yeah.
And now Dr. Sang has a ride or die.
And I was going to say, speaking of Dr. Sang, did you address a tough challenge with insight or compassion?
Yes, one of each. In fact, the first one, the Insight Cobalt Syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
I had a
That was
story for that.
insightful.
Yeah, and compassion. Getting Knots to not go and just try to murder somebody with a syringe. Better for all of us.
Yeah.
I understand the reaction, but also.
But also, yeah. Lovely. And then, what about your vice or traumas?
Well, I have to do Beliefs Drives Heritage, because that was the challenges.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, Beliefs Drives Heritage. You did that all over the place, too.
I
so,
did.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it, because there was some good stuff in there.
Let's see. Like, I mean, just everything with Knots was very, like, a very big part of it.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and also just being like, I'm not afraid to show off that I'm a doctor, because I'm here to help people.
Yeah, that's very true. When you're like, hey, look, Cobalt Syndicate, like, I know that I'm a doctor and that I've helped you guys, but, like, also I'm a doctor, I help everybody. And then also when you were, like, going through the crowd and trying to, in case there was actually a fire, protect everybody, like, that whole thing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Fantastic. Now, vice or traumas are...
Vice, yes. I don't have a trauma with vice. And my vice is obligation. Yeah, helping people. And I ran away from our crew towards a possibly other sort of dangerous situation. You did. It turned out to be far less dangerous, luckily. Yeah. But still, yeah, for sure. And if you rolled any desperate, don't forget to have marked that. Did not. I only rolled twice today. And one of them was controlled. So. Yeah, cool. I got 5 XP. I'm gonna put it all in prowess. Nice. And get a point in, I don't know.
Skulk.
Sure, I'm also going to do. I'm also going to go ahead and do heat real quick, because otherwise I will forget. Because I know me, and I will forget.
Entanglements next week, and that'll be fun.
And we will have entanglements next week. So, this was not particularly smooth and quiet, but I don't think it was loud or chaotic either. There was some chaos, but it was not too bad. I think it was pretty contained, self-contained to this small area, more or less. So that's going to be 2 heat there. This was not a particularly high-profile target. She's no longer as well connected. There was no public use of artifacts. That use happened in a side corridor and was definitely hidden. Killing hegemonic citizens. Oh, well, I'm afraid that happened. Massive property damage, no. Illegal weapons, no. Yeah. So I mean, that's not too bad. That's like 4 heat.
That's
Yeah.
not too worse.
That's not bad at all, honestly.
We don't have a wanted level in Breck, so.
And you did not gain
Who
one.
killed
So.
hegemonic citizens? Bad guys don't count as hegemonic citizens.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
See,
most bad guys are head.
I got some bad news for you about the hegemonic empire in general. Yeah. Great. So yeah, that's that.
That's gonna happen. We'll deal with that when that comes up.
We'll deal with that later.
Oh,
Actually, I don't think we will, honestly.
I don't think anything's happening.
No, nothing's happening.
We're not friends with anybody.
You're not. You are not friends with anybody.
The goons come back and are like, Wallace was killed by a cat.
Never speak of this again.
That was pretty scary. I'm gonna readjust some faction status stuff because of what happened. Definitely, this is you've removed a major player, so things are gonna change. As well as having gotten with him removed, the chance of Tatsuki being able to come back out into the public is much higher. So we'll see how that goes too next week. So that's everything. Now we go to outros. Outro.
Take it away.
Hi, I'm Outro. You can find me here playing Knots on Thursdays. You know Knots, the fucking lovable scoundrel. But besides that, the next time you can catch me will be on my own channel next Wednesday, because there's a certain game where you can modify your genitalia that comes out.
Is it Conan Exiles? Because you can do that. You can do that. I was making a joke. Conan Exiles, you had a slider for your wing, and it was hilarious because the physics were also hilarious when you really got.
It's just like blurb, 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 blurb.
It was even more funny in the basement because like everybody was naked, like totally nude. So there was just dongles everywhere.
That's fair. But I'm probably going to play the streamer mode of it, which I believe takes out a lot of that. Or I may design my character off stream. I don't know. I'm going to do some research. But yeah, that's next Wednesday. I probably need to update OBS because I haven't opened it in 6 months.
What is this game called?
It's
Cyberpunk 2077.
I will definitely be finding time to play that.
If it comes out.
I think it's too late for them to push it back this time. They're putting it out with bugs or not.
They pushed it back a day before, sir. I don't.
No, it was like a week before it was supposed to release.
Day.
So to be fair, this is the first time they ever actually on an investor call said like the release date is the 10th.
Yeah.
So like they might lie to you, but lie to the money people, that's a little bit more shaky in my opinion. So
That's true. But otherwise, you can find me here on my own Twitch channel or on Twitter at Outro42. And that's it. It's me.
All right, we'll jump it on over to Rhys.
hello everybody, I am Rhys Dragon. You can find me here on Party White Gaming's Tuesday playing some vampires. I play an awesome Tremere and am apparently a peeping Tom. Also, on Thursdays, you can see me here on Scum Villainy playing either a Kung Fu Psychic or a drunk Irish soldier. So those are both amusing. And if my computer will actually run the game, I will hopefully as well be streaming Cyberpunk next Wednesday. So see me for dongles as well.
See us all for dongles.
So many dongles. Oh my gosh.
All right. I was going to use this as the transition, but I don't think I will say speaking of dongles. But we'll jump over to Saint.
Hi everybody, my name is Saintguard. I'm a variety streamer, voice actor, game designer, and sometimes GM of tabletop role-playing games. Usually you can find me over on my own channel, twitch.tv/Saintguard. I will be I'll be streaming this weekend, starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. I will be doing Control as well as starting Dishonored. I will, unlike some other people, I will not be playing Cyberpunk. No, I got a lot of opinions about that in CD Projekt Red, so yeah, don't send me Cyberpunk things. I got opinions about it.
Quick question though. Will you be playing with dongles? Like
No.
everybody else? Okay.
Neither Dishonored nor Control have that, so no.
That's fair.
I feel like you're missing out that Saint.
I'm sure there's a mod that will add dongles to either game.
Also, I've been playing Crusader Kings 3. I've got enough of that.
That
anyway.
definitely has dongles in it.
Yes. So there is that. You can also check me out over on Twitter and Instagram. My Twitter is the one that's actually active. My Instagram, I literally haven't posted anything since October because that's when I was doing October. But over on my Twitter and over on my Patreon, because I got one of those too, I just posted a teaser on my Twitter for something that's going to be coming out to everybody on Saturday. Though Kelsa already has access to it because she is a patron of mine, so she knows what it is.
Good stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, that's coming soon, as well as other things that should be coming soon from the realm of me doing game design. But yeah, that's me.
Stay tuned. All right. Well, we'll jump it right on over to Shae.
Oh, hello everyone. My name is Shae. I am a member of Party Weight Gaming, where you can catch me here most days of the week, as I am in many of the games, or GM a game or two. You can also find me on my own channel, which is twitch.tv/ShaeGem, SHAEGEM, in which I do some artwork. I apologize for not streaming as much as I usually do. It has been a busy holiday weekend, but hey, I'm gonna jump into a regular schedule as much as I can over the course of this next holiday. But I do character art, logo design, map design, cute little chibi emotes that I also do have fun enjoying. I tried out a new art style digitally that was interesting, and I just chat with folks and I do commissions when anyone wants any art done. If you want to commission me, feel free to message me. You can catch me on my Twitter, which is my Twitter handle is @GemShae, GEMSHAE. You can view some of my artwork there as well. Please note, if you intend to view any NSFW work, you must be of legal age limit. Otherwise, enjoy.
All right, and lastly, we'll go down to Kelsa.
Hello, I'm Kelsa. I play role-playing games on the internet. My own channel is currently on hiatus for the holidays. We'll be coming back in January with a new show, and I'll update our little doobly-doo with that as well. In the meantime, though, I'm here GMing every week on Rocksteady here on Party Wipe Games, and that's the only shows I'm doing right now. Yeah, that's it. That's me. Follow me on Twitter @Kelsa, Twitch, and YouTube. It's Kelsa Delphi.
Alrighty. Well, last but certainly never least, it's me. Hey, I'm Rhys. Thanks for watching Party Wipe Games. We were playing Rocksteady tonight. Tomorrow there is currently nothing going on. We had been doing some stints with Diesel Shot, playing their custom version of the Alien RPG system called Distant Stars, and other fun things. I had a thing with bees, and then I ran somebody over with a truck, and Shae was a big bustle lady, and there was all kinds of fun things that happened in shenanigans that ensued. It's a great game. Check them out. They're awesome all the time. Saturday, we will be playing Waterdeep Dragon Heist. That's Shae's running that game. We are nearing the final chapters of that, so looking forward to seeing where that goes. Sunday, we play a Tales from the Loop / Things from the Flood campaign, where the group had snuck into what they thought was a closed-down loop facility and found out it was still active. And in trying to rescue a dear friend, they instead let something else out. Hilarity will ensue, I'm sure. Mondays, there has been a game that has been on hiatus for quite a long time, and hopefully it will start back up, but it is the holiday season, so we will just kind of see what my work wants me to do and how I feel for my 5th edition homebrew game, Blood Moon Rising. Tuesdays, the aforementioned Vampire the Masquerade game, and I also play Octung Cthulhu over on Encounter Roleplay. There is a thing they have called Pet Pals, where if you donate enough money, they will add a pet for us into the game, and it was the first time I had seen it ever been redeemed, and I, playing the Russian, had gotten a dog, and I named him Rasputin because he was at the bottom of a mine shaft that the Nazis tried to collapse and keep Abigo held within, and the dog is perfectly fine, and I rescued him, and because he does not die, his name is Rasputin, and I love him. Wednesdays, I play iHunt, where I have a engineer type character with a drone that has a knife attached to it, so that's my highlight for that game. Otherwise, that's everything. Oh boy, so much. Who can we rate tonight? Anybody on? Anybody
Also, we're not back next week. We are back the week after that, but
Yes.
then we're off the following week for Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Christmas happens to be falling on Thursdays. So next week is both of my sisters. They're 2 years and a day apart, so we have birthday dinners scheduled for Thursday. So that's not going to work for Shae and I. So we won't be playing next week, but we will be playing on the 17th, and then we will immediately be off for most likely Christmas and New Year's because they both fall on Thursday.
Well, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve fall on Thursday.
Christmas and New Year's, yeah. I also have to work both of those days, so I'm just... Yeah, big mood. Do we have anybody on? Oh, you know what? Diesel Shot is on. We can just send y'all over to them. So, hey, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Stay fabulous. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Night, bye.
Get those raiders going. Boop. Sending them over. All right.